first ever meeting between the Brainbusters and Demolition happens on May 27th, 1989. I guess that's when it airs. It was taped about a month prior in Des Moines, Iowa. We would see you and Arn Anderson defeat Demolition by DQ after around 9 minutes. And then we do a rematch in Worcester in July. It would have been taped on July 18th and it airs on July 29th. And this is the one that a lot of people point to. I know specifically Dax from FTR really cares about this match and holds it in high regard. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match on NBC on Saturday night's main event. In the first fall, Smash is going to pin Arn Anderson, dropping him throat first on the top rope at about 5 minutes in. In the second fall, Demolition is going to get disqualified for continuing their double team about 9 minutes and 29 seconds in. And this is when we see Andre the Giant appear at ringside. And in the third fall, Arn pins Smash in 12.5 minutes after he hit Smash in the back of the head with a chair that was thrown into the ring by Andre. And then afterwards, Jesse Ventura is going to do a backstage interview with the entire Heenan family in a celebration. But maybe the story of this is maybe there was some hurt feelings about the chair shot. I think we actually have a clip of Smash talking about that chair shot. I want you to hear what Barry Darsow had to say, and then I'd love to hear your perspective.
Well, I think what it was, it was intentional, but not intentional to hurt me. You know what I mean? I think it was a big match, and you get excited over different things, and it's on camera. And when the camera's on the finish, and it's isoed right in on you, when you're watching the TV, you know that part of the match is the most important part, and all the cameras are going to get that angle. You want to lay it in. Mm-hmm. Well, I think he laid it in, and probably laid it in a little bit too hard because I got hurt, but it looked great. But I cracked a vertebrae in my neck. I chipped 4 teeth, and I had a concussion, and I was out cold, and he never even knew that. He just thought he whacked me with the chair. Well, I was laying there, and I remember Bill hit me in the face going, "Hey, we got to get out of the ring. The match is over." And I'm looking at him. I thought, what the hell is going on? I was out cold, and I got up, and my jaw was killing me. I mean, I was hurt, and Bill got me out of the ring, and we came back, and I remember Vince looking at me going, "Holy shit, that was a hell of a match," and all that. And back then, I didn't want to tell people I was hurt or anything because, if you end up taking days off, somebody else comes in your position, and we were the top dogs at the time. So, I should have went to the hospital and probably should have had a few days off or whatever. But, right away, the next day we're in the next town, and Bill covered for me for a couple of weeks, but I was in real bad shape. And I didn't tell my wife, not for a long time, because she would have made me come home right away, But I ended up getting over it. But, to this day, I'm not right. I used to be math numbers. I was like I don't say I was a genius, but I mean I was really good with numbers. You could ask me anything, and I could come up with whatever it would be. And I can hardly remember phone numbers now. Anything with numbers, it's bad. And you asked me about different things that go on. I can remember them, but I can't remember them. And some things I can't remember at all. And I don't know if that's just from getting old now or what, but ever since then, it's been weird. I hurt a lot, and I got headaches all the time. My neck's bad. I'm a mess.
Man, it's funny because as fans, we just look at the match and talk about, man, what a great match that is. I think sometimes we forget, hey, this is a real human being, and this is not ballet. And occasionally there are repercussions for this gamble you take when you become a professional wrestler. When did you know that, oh, wow, I meant to swing the chair, but I don't think I meant to do it quite like that. This is not the result we hope for. I know you wouldn't intentionally hurt anybody, but
Oh
Did
no,
did you know immediately, or do you find out backstage that?
I didn't find out that he was injured that bad until I just listened to that.
Oh wow,
Um, I know that we had talked about it, and he said, "Be sure you lay that in."
yeah,
And I said, for all the reasons that he said, I said, "Okay, I will." And I did, and had no idea that I've never hurt anybody in the ring, and
right.
that was that just crushes me right there, because Barry is a wonderful guy, and would never want to injure anybody, because the whole art form is to look like you're hurting people with not hurting people.
Right.
And but it was uh and we all worked together in the nights afterwards to make sure that he didn't, because the concussion part we knew, I knew that. And but golly,
I had no idea you hadn't heard any of that. So this
no.
was all new information. Well, we didn't mean to spring that on you. I just assumed since that interview was out there that maybe you knew. So my apologies.
Well, I'm not the I'm not the tech guy that
Right.
gets everything.
Sure.
So, but
Well, I was glad to hear in the quote. I mean, he started by saying it was intentional, but it wasn't intentional to hurt me. We wanted it to look good for television. So,
absolutely,
yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any ill will about intent. I mean, we wanted it to look good, and it did. Certainly, we didn't want to hurt anybody. And you mentioned, hey, we knew he had a concussion. And of course, now we know much more about that sort of thing than we did back then. I mean, I remember playing football in the 80s and early 90s, that it was just said like, hey, rub some dirt on it. I mean, the idea was, oh, he got his bell wrong. And it was like, you miss a play or two and then you're good to go. I mean, they used to have smelling salts. Like, now we look back and we're like, okay, yeah, he just got a concussion, but he's awake now. Go get another one. Like, we learned, we got better. Do you remember concussions ever being taken all that seriously in wrestling, or were they just too common?
um, really, I don't know that they were common at all, because in your training you knew to not ever let your head go bang against the mat and stuff like that. Always keep your chin tucked, and protect your head. um and guys punching and stuff like that was, I've got chipped teeth and a broken nose, and all from being hit in the ring. But I took pride in the fact that not hurting people, but looking like you hurt people,
Yes.
and certainly not uh, would I ever intentionally hit somebody with a chair. And
Sure.